Hey FLOSSTUBE, thanks for stopping by. My name is Shiloh and I am a cross stitcher and knitter living in Nova Scotia, Canada. It's been a little while since I recorded my last video because now that our province has started to open up, I've just been out doing things and enjoying life and not doing as much stitching. But today I decided to sit down and record a video because if I wait until when I next would be due to record one, I'm gonna have way too much stuff and it's gonna be hours long. So yeah, like I said, things here in Nova Scotia are going really well. It's been 2 weeks since we've had any cases of the coronavirus and life is kind of getting back to normal here. Restaurants are open, massage, manicures, all those places are open. The weather's been nice and it's just been so good to feel like life is getting back to normal a bit. I've been doing a lot of hiking over the past few weeks. I'll put in a couple of pictures of here of some of the hikes I've been on. Nova Scotia is such a beautiful province and I feel so lucky that there's so many beautiful places to explore so close to where I live. So that's been taking up a lot of my time lately, especially on the rare days we have sunshine. I just want to get out there and hike. It tends to rain a lot here in Nova Scotia, so any chance that there is sunshine, you need to be outside. I have managed to get some stitching time in over the past few weeks though, and I have lots to share, so let's get started. I don't have any finishes since I last recorded. I've been working on a lot of my Xstitchmd starts, and a lot of them are gigantic projects, which means it's going to be a while before I have a finish. I did have a new start though, so why don't I start with that? Here's a picture of what it looks like. So this is the Martin Luther King Jr Sampler by Stone Street Stitchworks, and this is a charity chart. So Selma from Stone Street Stitchworks designed this chart. It's on her Etsy shop. It's 50 cents US, which I think I paid 71 cents for it Canadian. And her suggestion is that you donate to a charity of your choice after you purchase this chart. So I donated to the Black Lives Matter Fund here in Nova Scotia, which is a great cause and something I was very happy to support. And I think it was something that, it was really nice just to get that little push from Selma to, think about where I can be supporting people and kind of putting my money where my mouth is, I guess. So here's my start on this. I was completely enabled by Nicole's needlework to start this for the Juneteenth, on Juneteenth, for the Diversity and Inclusion Stitch Along. And here's my start so far. I'm using my own choice of colors. This is not any of the called for colors. The red here is DMC 355, but all the rest of the colors are overdyed. So I think this dark brown here is Crescent Colors Latisha. Sorry, Classic Colorworks. My scene is a Crescent Color, so it's very old. Classic Colorworks Latisha. This is Classic Colorworks Garden Lane or something like that. And then this white is Gentle Arts Buttermilk. And I'm stitching this on 32 count Summer Khaki Belfast Linen. So I'm almost halfway done. This is a really quick stitch so far. And I'm hoping to finish this in the next week or so and get it on my wall. And I love it. What a great reminder. The time is always right to do what is right. So yes, I love it. Works in progress. I've been working mainly on all of my Xstitchmd starts because I have a million of them and I want them all hanging up on my wall. You can see like this area right here is exactly where I want to hang my twisted rainbow band sampler. So why don't I show you that now? Here's what it'll look like when it is completed. Here's where I'm at now. So this is the full width of the sampler, and my apologies, I just realized the light is kind of coming through there. It's a little bit annoying. Hopefully you don't mind too much. So this is where I'm at. So I'm the full width of the sampler now, but a long ways to go with the length. It's something like 31 inches or something, which was why I think it'll look absolutely perfect right there. Yeah, so here's the full width of it thus far. I am loving stitching this. I'm using the recommended DMC colors on 28 count white cashel linen. It's just so pretty. Someone commented on my Instagram that these motifs here look like martini glasses. Can't unsee it. Thank you very much. I love it. I love when you have like a motif that's supposed to be, just like abstract or whatever, and you can totally see something else in it. Speaking of that, I also worked on my ink circles sampler. This is called Second Chances. Here's what it'll look like when it's done. And here's where I'm at. So speaking of those motifs that look like other things, to me these look like oven mitts. I dare you to unsee it. You can't. That's totally an oven mitt. But this had been in timeout for a little bit because I was waiting on my week's dye work flosses to get in, and they arrived. So I had already completed this motif. I got this motif done and started on a couple here. I love all these colors. They're all week's dye works, just a variety of like reds and purples and burgundies and blues, and they're so, so pretty. I love this. I'm stitching this on 32 count pearl gray, Belfast Linen by Swaggart. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's kind of a fun twist on the traditional monochromatic sampler because you're still only stitching, I mean, there's still a bunch of motifs, but you get to mix it up with different colors, and that's kind of fun. Speaking of monochromatic samplers, another one I've been working on is my sampler Aux Fleurs by Jardin Privé. Hopefully my French was okay. And here's what it'll look like when it's done. And here is my progress. I'm getting pretty far on this one, well over halfway. And it's just so fun. I loved stitching this tree. It's just so cute. It was really fun to stitch. I'm using DMC 632 on 36 count marbled little bunny linen by Xstitchmd Designs. And that is pretty true to the fabric color. I'm really, really enjoying it. So yeah, making pretty good progress on that one. Okay, this next one is one I'm so obsessed with, and every time I pull it out to stitch on it, I spend like the first 10 minutes just staring at it because I'm just like so in love with how beautiful it is. Oh my gosh. So this is the Always Flowers sampler by Stitches Through the Years, and here's what it'll look like when it's done. It's beautiful, right? Like, it's so beautiful, I can't even. And here's where I'm at. Oh, I just love it. Again, that light coming through. Oh my goodness. Okay, I know I talked about this before, but those over 1 stitches on 36 count, they're so little and I love them. Oh, and these colors on this fabric, I can't, it's so pretty. Yep, so this is all the called for colors. So there's some DMC, there's some Gentle Art, Crescent Colors, sorry, Classic Colorworks, I just have it in my head. Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. And it's so beautiful. It's gonna be 3 squares wide by 3 squares, or sorry, by 2 squares high. So I still have quite a bit to do, but I completely finished that block. Got a little bit of a start on this one. And I love it. Stitches Through the Years is like, just all about their charts right now. So speaking of them, I also worked on another pattern by them. This one's called Like a Cherry Blossom. And I got my anchor floss in the mail, which I was waiting on to be able to fill in all the cherry blossoms. So here's where I got to. And at first I was kind of like, this is a funky color, because it's kind of like a, I think the actual color name of anchor is like copper. And it's kind of like this, it's hard to tell. I guess that's a fairly good representation of it. And on the chart, I thought it was gonna be more of like an ecru color, but I actually really, really like this color. And this sampler is just so, so pretty. I'm stitching this on a 30 count, I think it's London Mist Legacy Linen by Access Commodities. And I'm stitching with the recommended floss, which is Anchor for this white, and not white, this color, as well as some Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, and I think there might be some Gentle Art in there as well. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Also, I forgot to mention on this piece, this is 36 count Vintage Country Mocha. I'm kind of obsessed with Vintage Country Mocha right now because, as you're about to see, I'm working on another piece that includes it. So that one would be Salsa. Pretty good pronunciation, eh? Here's what it'll look like. And here's where I'm at right now. So I am stitching this, whoops, I have a needle in here, I don't want to stab myself. I'm stitching this also on 32 count. Sorry, I'm stitching this also on vintage country mocha linen, but this is a 32 count. So here's my progress. Look at that little fishy. Oh, that's so cute. I think I showed that last time, but I mainly worked in doing this little section here. And that's a really good representation of the fabric color. I'm loving this. I'm stitching it with DMC 902 and then DMC 738 for those like tan back stitching here and here. I love this. I love, love, love this. I am using this piece right now to curtail my burning desire to start the new Long Dog piece, Pandemic. So if you haven't managed to see it yet, go to their website, longdogsampler.com. You need this chart. Here's what it looks like. So this chart is free, like free on Long Dog's website until tomorrow. So go get it ASAP because it's amazing and it's free. I think after the 26th, she's going to have it on her website, but you'll have to pay for it. But if you don't, why not? My current plan is I want to start it on an antique, 36 count antique white Edinburgh linen and probably DMC 310, but that is subject to change. But that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I don't have a piece of fabric that big enough, so that's gonna have to be in order. Okay, my last whip that I worked on. This is the Little Dutch Sampler by River Drift House. And I got quite a bit of progress on this. I was able to finish the alphabet, and someone had kindly noted that this alphabet omits the Q, which I guess is historically accurate, but I liked it to be, I guess, I don't know, I just like the full alphabet, whatever. So I added in this little over 1 Q, and I can't even, it's so cute. It's so cute, oh, I love it. And so I finished the alphabet, and then I worked on this a bit, and made it down, got this done in this house. So I'm getting close to it. I probably have like maybe a third left to go, maybe a little bit less than that. So this should be a finish in the not too distant future. So that's all my stitching progress. I have a few things that I dropped off at Michael's for framing. I was very excited that with kind of things slowing down with COVID, that I was able to go see my framer. So I dropped off 3 pieces, my Schoolhouse Quaker by Stone Street Stitchworks, my Wander piece, the Lord of the Rings piece, and my Sunshine and Shadow Sampler by Bright Needle. So those should be ready in the next few weeks, and I'm so excited. The Schoolhouse Quaker is gonna go right here above my TV, which I'm excited about, and I haven't decided where to put the other 2 yet, but I have a little bit of time. So I'm really excited to get those back. I love the framing and mat choices. My framer at Michael's is amazing. I know people have like mixed reviews at Michael's, but when I used to live in Ontario, my framer at that Michael's was amazing. My one here in Nova Scotia is fantastic. I think the main thing is finding someone who knows how to frame needlework, and don't be afraid to ask them questions like, how do you put this in the frame and such. So I've felt like I've been really lucky with my Michael's framing experiences, but I recognize that may be a unique situation. All right, so what else have I been working on? I've also been doing a lot of knitting, which on the days when it's not super hot out, because like today it is 27 degrees Celsius, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's very warm. And so today is not a knitting day, but I had been doing quite a bit of knitting. And so I'm gonna put in a picture of my Hue Shift Afghan as to where it is now, because it's really hard to show all on the screen. So here is where I got to. So I finished the main part, and like the picture's gonna show you way better than I can show you here, but here's just a glimpse at some of the blocks. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And I started on the border, so I'll show you kind of what I'm doing here. So the border is called for to be knit this way, like lengthwise, but I'm knitting it this way instead. And basically every second row I'm just picking up and knitting together a stitch. So I just have my border all the way across. So, this is what, 1, 2, 3. This is 4 squares wide, and the border, and it's 10 by 10 all the way around. So I have a lot of border to do, but this is like super easy, mindless knitting for watching TV. So this will get done. I'm hoping to get this Afghan done by the end of July. We shall see. I'm loving knitting it. I'm gonna have to start another one. It's just so fun to just like pick up and knit a couple squares. On Wednesdays, I work from home because I have, so I'm a psychiatry resident, which basically means that while I am a doctor, I'm still in training. So every Wednesday we have our academic day, which used to be in-person lectures at the hospital, but now with coronavirus, it's Zoom lectures from home, which I love because I can knit during lecture and not be judged. So I got a ton of knitting done this past Wednesday, which was nice. Okay, so that's what I've been working on the past little bit. Let's talk some acquisitions because I did get some things in the mail. First thing that I'm super excited about is this pattern, which is called Garden Fair by Courtney Collection. And I saw that Latisha, creative curator, started this recently. It is so pretty. I just can't even. I love it. I got this from 123 Stitch, and I also got fabric. So I got 40 count platinum and Newcastle linen, which I think is the called, oh no, it's called for is Lakeside Linen Lentil, but to me this looks pretty close. And I got the called for red silk, which is Classic Colorworks Tulip, Belfast Tulip. And then it called for a black needlepoint, no, a Vera Soie silk, but I just got DMC 310 because why not? So let me see if I can be all fancy and show you everything together. Ta-da! So that's gonna be a new start sometime soon. The silk is so beautiful. It's just like so soft and lovely. And the nice thing too, I mean, it's like expensive silk. I think it's like $7.50 Canadian a skein, but it's 12 strands, so you get quite a bit on it. And I only needed 2 skeins for the entire project on 40 count, so I was like, why not splurge and go for it? So that's fun. Also from 123 Stitch, I got several Weeks Dye Works flosses. Let's see if I can make them look pretty. I should have put them on a ring. Didn't think of that. Just doing this on the fly, y'all. So I got several Weeks Dye Works colors. These are all for the Prairie Life sampler by Heartstring Samplery. I had bought like the other, I had bought the other half. I knew that's like all the greens and such a while ago, and then I just had these kind of on back order. So yeah, these are really pretty. I'm planning on stitching this on, I think, 36 count like light mocha linen. Also, here's what the Prairie Life sampler chart looks like. So I'm a huge fan of Little House Needleworks at Little House Needleworks. I am a fan of Little House Needleworks, but I meant I'm a fan of Little House on the Prairie. So I've really been wanting to start this chart, so that is going to be in future plans. I guess this section is kind of just a mashup of like acquisitions and future plans, so we'll just call it that. Also acquisitions, I got some 25 count black Lugana, and this is destined for the, can't remember what it's called, but it's a Stitchrovia piece. Here's what it looks like. So that's what this is for. Also, I got some 32 count Silver Moon Lugana, and this is going to be for Birds to the Boughs by Lindy Stitches. Very excited to start this. I'm just gonna use all the called for DMC on this lovely gray fabric. And then I got this beautiful fabric, which I hope shows up nicely. Yes. This is vintage smoky white Belfast Linen by Zweigart. And this is destined to have Descending Order by Long Dog Samplers stitched on it. I was highly enabled by Ellen Reed from Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour, who recently finished Descending Order by Long Dog. And I loved it, and it's beautiful, so I needed to start that. All these fabrics that I ordered, my plan was to start all those projects during Stitchmania, but because of like the mail holdup, I'm just getting them now. So I feel like I need to have a second round of Stitchmania. Like, yeah, because I had all these planned starts. Like this is 4 starts right here that I was planning to do in Stitchmania, whatever. Anyway, as you can see, I'm slightly scattered all over the place, but I just love stitching, guys. It's just so nice and relaxing, especially during, you know, this year's been crazy. It's not been the best of years, and I think we're all feeling that. And I just wanted to say that for any of you that are having a bit of a tough time right now, I see you. Take care of yourself. Caroline from Off the Grid Needle Arts posted a really awesome video the other day just talking about how important it is for us as a community to really stand by each other and support each other during these times. So she said it way more eloquently than I ever could. So if you want to check out her video, I think it's called Human Rights in FLOSSTUBE or something like that, I'd highly recommend it. That's really all I have for you guys. I'm planning on going back on my normal schedule, which is meaning you can expect another video from me in about a week and a half, which means I need to do a lot of stitching to make sure I have enough content for that video. Well, that's not going to be too hard of a task to achieve. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon.